नमस्कार, फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। आज हम हॉट टेक्स करेंगे। हॉट टेक्स में 2-3 दिन का जो न्यूज़ डेवलपमेंट है उसके बारे में मेरे भाई पूछेगा, मैं उसका जवाब दूंगा। लेकिन ये दिन तो अंग्रेज़ी में होगा। फिर से जब मार्केट में कुछ डेवलपमेंट होगी हम हिंदी में बात करेंगे।
A lot of people are asking in Infosys, is something brewing because a lot of senior management are resigning. Now Matthews has resigned and joined Accenture. And today the price suddenly jumped from 1,490 to 1,520, up by 30 rupees in the last 5 minutes.
Okay, this is not a big jump. And Infosys is a company which has more than 2 lakh people working for them. So top management going or leaving is not going to make a difference. There has been a lot of change turning around, especially people from Wipro and Infosys have gone to Cognizant and Accenture. And Wipro has gone to court. And even Infosys has enforced some non-compete agreements with some of its employees. The fact remains that increment is not going to be as expected. Bonuses are going to be lower. And tomorrow the results will come Friday evening. But we do not know. That is tomorrow evening. Today evening the results will come. But we will not be talking up to it till Tuesday morning. Because we are on Pongal vacation. But I expect that there will be a very muted amount of results. Flat profits. And maybe some decline in revenue. This is what they are all forecasting for Infosys. Even TCS is going to be flat, HCL is going to struggle, Wipro is going to struggle. So everybody is going to struggle in IT, and they are poaching one from the other because nobody wants entry-level guys or mid-level guys. They are hoping that if you bring a top-level talent, something will change. But it is not going to. All corporates in America are cutting back spending. Even Europe is cutting back on spending. So all this puts together means that all companies are under pressure. But the Infosys is a large company. Any big dip is a major buying opportunity. On today evening, if results come bad and there's a big 10% drop or a 5% drop, it's the right time to consider that and jump in. Same with TCS.
Okay. Another question people are asking is, banking sector has any problem because there's long consolidation? Any reason?
No, there is no major consolidation. See, public sector banks are merging with each other. That is because in your generation, at least I used to force you to open 1 or 2 in PSU banks because I was banking with them. You are not operating a PSU bank. And nobody in your circle is operating a PSU bank. So even your wife's generation, who is one generation below you, is also not operating a bank. You are 2 generations below me. So I'm 56. You are about 45. So guys are not using public sector bank. And the real growth is in the PSU banks, not in the real growth is with retail credit. And the private banks are really moving ahead of the PSU banks. They are dead zombies. So what has SBI done is, it's signed off joint ventures with Kalel for one for SBI cards. They have an SBI life insurance. Again with an Australian partner. They have SBI general insurance with another partner. SBI has all the government accounts. Even there, the government is not able to give them the equity.
Yeah, they went through a bond route to raise some funds also, no?
No, they didn't. They don't have enough. Government is not able to fund the equity. And if you raise equity, the government stock will drop below 50%. So they had to raise through AT1 bond. Tier 1 bonds.
Correct.
So this is start for capital. There are 2 sectors. And there is an absolutely crazy run-up in public sector banks as if they are going to change things. But if you want to change things, you have to change the culture. That's not going to happen.
Now, someone's asking, will Manappuram Finance give 1-to-1 National Microfinance after demerger? What's your thought on that?
I do not know whether there's a demerger.
Yeah, if there is.
No. They were going to list it publicly. And it will become a subsidiary which is listed publicly, like what Tata Technologies is. Yesterday there was news that SEBI has kept it in abeyance and there was no news further. The market hammered it came down to 163 and today it bounced back to 174. The fact remains that it is a highly undervalued stock and it is against gold loans. And I expect the value of gold to shoot to 7,500. For the same amount of gold, you can give more loan. Like we patiently accumulated Karnataka Bank and made a huge profit. If you are smart and if you don't keep doubting yourself every day, morning, evening, afternoon, and you are not going to look at the loss or profit every day, you can accumulate this in 1, 2, 3, 4 types. Not jump and buy 5,000 and tell me tomorrow you are in problem or 1,000. If you are able to buy 5, 10, 15 and build a position, you will see a decent profit at it.
Okay.
And you will get regular dividends also.
Some people who have been long-time Tata Motors shareholders felt that it was unfair that Tata, when they removed Tata Technologies from Tata Motors, they did not give reward the shareholders of long-time Tata Motors. One second. The question is, in a situation like this, like you always say, no, like ITC hotels, usually the shareholders get to enjoy the pudding also for sitting for so long. Why didn't the Tatas didn't demerge it, giving 1-to-1 instead of doing all this?
They didn't demerge at all. ITC is being demerged. That is, ITC Hotels is not an existing company which is inside ITC. There's one company. So they are going to spin it off, create a new company.
Correct. They're cutting the cake itself.
They're cutting the cake and creating a new company. Tata Technologies is a company which is already existing. Owned by Tata.
It is operating separately.
Owned by Tata Motors and other Tata companies. Now, Tata Motors has offloaded a certain portion of its shares. Even today, it has more than 50% of the shares. So, Tata Motors and the shareholders used to own 75% of. They used to have 70% or 75%. I don't know the number exactly. Were owners of Tata Technologies. They were not 100% owners. There were ESOPs and other things. So they reduced the stock. Some other people reduced the stock. You are still owning 60% of Tata Motors. If you're Tata Technologies, if you go and see the list, shareholders list, you will see promoters 50+%. And Tata Motors is the promoter and you are the owner of Tata Motors. You are already sitting on it. I don't understand how he has denied it. How can somebody take what you have already owned? You owned a asset. A portion of the asset you sold to bring down debt. Right? And you own the rest of the cake. Now, why do you say that you have not got the cake? What you are trying to say is, why go for a public issue? Tell the shareholders, please, I'll give it to you. You itself will take it. Let me tell you one thing. The same public, when he asked for a rights issue at 70 rupees, it was undersubscribed and he had to buy the shares.
Correct.
When he gave Tata DVR, it was again undersubscribed and the promoter picked up the share.
Correct.
So what you are all, most of these guys who talk to you are fair weather friends. In the sense that if the stock is really doing well, you want to come up and say it is mine. When the company is in tough times, what I am trying to say is, when the times are good, you want everything. When times are bad, you want to run. It doesn't work like that. You are still owner of the company.